Hey guys, it's Little Rocker Cutie 2005, also known as Andre, back again with you guys on Late Night Frights channel. This week is actually our favorite directors theme this week, and I hope, once again, as always, I hope you guys check out everybody else's videos on the channel. I'm pretty sure both the Jay Sloan and Chris Brock talked about John Carpenter, and All Random Things talked about Wes Craven. I'm actually going to be talking about Wes Craven myself because he's one of my favorite horror directors. So I'm going to keep this kind of short, as short as I can. So, you know, let's just get into it. Wes Craven was actually born in 1939 in Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm kind of going off Wikipedia here, so kind of just bear with me. And it says he earned an undergraduate degree in English and psychology from Wheaton College in Illinois, and a master's degree in philosophy and writing from Johns Hopkins University. Before he started directing, he taught English at Westminster College and was a humanities professor at Clarkston College of Technology, which is now known as Clarkston University. His first job in the film industry was as a sound editor for a post-production company in New York. And he ended up leaving the world of academics for the more lucrative role of porno director. Yeah. He was a porno director for a while. And it says that he made many hardcore X-rated films under pseudonyms. And this is actually from a documentary called Inside Deep Throat, which Deep Throat, probably one of the most famous porns in history, and it's hard to believe that he worked on that. But it says his role is actually undisclosed, but most of his early known work involved writing, editing, or both. And then in '72 is actually when he made Last House on the Left, which was his first movie. And let's see. He's pretty much, you know, he's become like one of the biggest directors in horror, pretty much. So I enjoy a lot of his work. But that's pretty much like based most of the history that I know of, according to the Wikipedia page. If there's like anything that I can't cover that you guys want to know, I would highly recommend checking out Season 1, Episode 11 of a Google show called The Sausage Factory. They actually have a channel here on YouTube that's all their shows from. They're getting ready to do Season 3 in September, but I would highly recommend going to Season 1, Episode 11. It's their retrospective on Wes Craven, where they cover pretty much his whole career and go into way more detail than I can in like a 12-15 minute video. But he directed Last House on the Left, of course, and then after that was the only porno he directed. He did direct the Porno Guys, and he used an assumed name, which was, I think it was Abe Snake. Now, I learned about this from the Sausage Factory, but the one he directed was called Angela the Fireworks Woman. And in between Last House on the Left and that, he served as pretty much like an editor or writer for a whole bunch of like different, you know, porno movies, and then came The Hills Have Eyes. I'm not going to go into like every movie he's done. I'm just gonna kind of go over like some of the ones I've seen, and then ones I plan to either see for the first time or revisit. So, you know, Last House on the Left, it was all right, but it's one of those that, you know, it's gonna make you feel kind of sick after watching it because of the subject matter it deals with, you know, rape, revenge, that type of thing. But it is one of those exceptions where I can say that the remake is better than the original, at least in my opinion. But it's one of those where if you're a horror fan, it is a prerequisite. And then he did The Hills Have Eyes in '77, you know, another one which, you know, I think the remake is actually better, but, you know, who am I to talk? You know, The Hills Have Eyes, it was an okay movie, but, you know, he based it on true events of this family in the 1600s who were it was like a cannibal family or something like that. They'd like lure travelers off the road and just kill them and eat them pretty much. And let's see, '81 had Deadly Blessing. That's one I've heard about, but I've actually never seen it. I know there's a Scream Factory release of it, and I'd like to get my hands on it, you know, just to check it out. Then Swamp Thing has got a Scream Factory release. Nightmare on Elm Street, of course, one of my favorite horror films. It would make my top 10. That is a classic, and I highly recommend checking that one out if you have not seen it. The Hills Have Eyes Part 2, which I know has a Blu-ray release, but it's really one of those ones where, you know, he needed the money because Nightmare had left him so pretty much strapped for cash because of the situation, you know. they had to raise like 1.2 million to make Nightmare, and what happened with Nightmare was that one of the companies, I think it was a company called Smart Egg Pictures, they took most of the money for themselves. So Wes Craven didn't get any money, you know, the people at New Line didn't get any money. Nobody really got paid for it except for the Smart Egg people. But then you've got Deadly Friend. I actually saw this once on VHS, and it's a really cool movie. I think it's one of his very underrated movies. But it's about this teenage kid, and he meets this girl next door who's got an abusive father, and the boy basically has this robot that gets built, and the robot gets smashed up, and next thing you know, the girl's killed by her abusive father. So this kid pretty much puts the brain from his robot into the body of this girl, and just things hit the fan from there. Like, if you look up Deadly Friend on, like, say YouTube, the main thing you're gonna find is the basketball kill where the girl who's now got the robot's brain in her actually kills Anne Ramsey, but who you might know from the Goonies and Throw Mama from the Train. But this girl with this robot brain in her, she kills her by throwing a basketball at her head and just smashing it to bits. I mean, that is just freaking cool. But Deadly Friend, definitely an underrated one. Then he worked on, of course, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street 3. He was a co-writer on that. That is probably like the best sequel in the series in my book. Serpent and a Rainbow in '88, which is one that I do plan to revisit at some point because I do have it in my collection. It mainly deals with voodoo. It's another one kind of based on true events, but you know, that's one I'd highly recommend. I'm going to revisit it at some point myself. I might do a review on my channel, who knows? But Shocker from '89, that is another one of my favorites. It deals with this guy. He's like a serial killer, and he gets killed in the electric chair. And basically, before he dies, like he's called for this power from like the TV gods, as I would put it. But like, they pretty much give him this power, and once they put him in the electric chair, he's got the ability to kind of like jump from body to body and kind of like possess people. It's a really cool movie. I mean, it's another one I feel, you know, underrated. Check it out if you guys have not seen it. Then 91 brings us The People Under the Stairs, which is one I haven't seen, but I do plan to see it at some point. I'm actually waiting for a buddy of mine to do an order for me, where I'm actually going to be getting a double feature of People Under the Stairs and Shocker, so I am looking forward to getting that. He acted in John Carpenter's Body Bags, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, of course, you know, last sequel of the Nightmare on Elm Street series. You know, he felt he had to do something different with it, so he came back, you know, did a whole different take on it, and that's just a really fun one. I mean, I've watched that one since it came out. It's one of my favorites in the Nightmare series. Then you've got Vampire in Brooklyn. Now, this one's got Eddie Murphy, Angela Bassett. This movie gets a ton of crap, but it's one of those that I really enjoy, so. And then you've got, let's see, of course, you know, Scream. He worked on all 4 Scream movies. You know, he directed them pretty much. Those are all really good. Like, 3 is probably the worst in the series, but you know, I can sit and watch it and enjoy it for what it is. But you know, all the Scream movies, they're good. He worked on Wishmaster. He was actually an executive producer, which that's a really good one. Let's see, Dracula 2000, again, executive producer, another decent one. Let's see, Cursed, I saw that one. It was like a werewolf movie. I think it had Christina Ricci and Joshua Jackson. I don't remember too much of it, but like, I'm not big into werewolf movies, so once I saw it, you know, once was enough. Then, Red Eye. He directed that one. It's not exactly a horror movie, it's more of like a thriller, but, you know, it's a really good one. It's Cillian Murphy and Rachel McAdams, and she's going to see her father, and he meets her in the airport, and basically he's on a mission to kill her father, and she's basically got to stop him, and that's just a really good thriller. I mean, Buffy's Eating Man, and I actually saw that in the theater when it came out, so, you know, that was one that we pretty much had to see. You know, and you got the Hills Have Eyes remake, which he was executive producer on. Same thing with Hills Have Eyes 2. You know, another remake he was executive producer on. Then, let's see, he's executive producer on Last House on the Left remake, both him and Sean Cunningham, who he worked with on the original. And, you know, that's both with Last House on the Left and Hills Have Eyes are cases where I think the remakes are better than the original. So, but then again, you know, I'm hit and miss on remakes, as you guys know. He wrote and directed and executive produced My Soul to Take, which I actually just picked up last week. You might have seen the update on my channel where I picked that up, but that is one I plan to watch and review at some point. And then lastly, he did Scream 4, which directed, executive producer, and that's pretty much his entire, you know, film career, because there's been, like, I don't know what's going on with him in recent years, but I do know, actually, let me scroll back up. Yeah, here it is. It says, recently Craven has created Coming of Age, a graphic novel with 30 Days of Night comic book writer Steve Niles. The comic has been released by Liquid Comics in 2013, with a possible film adaptation directed by Craven and produced by, dang it, damn laptop, sorry guys. Produced by Live Free or Die Hard producer Arnold Rifkin and Liquid Comics CEO Sharad Devrajan. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's like an Indian name, but that is possibly what he's got coming up. I'm not sure if anything's like moved forward on it or anything, but you know, that's pretty much, you know, what I can give you on Wes Craven as far as like what Wikipedia's giving me, and, you know, based on what I know. But like I said, you know, if you guys want to know more in depth, I would highly recommend, you know, checking out season 1, episode 11 of The Sausage Factory. It's the Wes Craven retrospective. They cover pretty much everything he's done. So, you know, once again, it's Little Rocker Cutie 2005, also known as Andre, telling you to enjoy life, enjoy some Skittles, enjoy some Starburst, keep it forever horror, guys. And in the immortal words of my faithful partner on my channel, Chris, or Buffy Z-Man, he always says, eat some chicken. Catch you guys next week on Late Night Frights. Bye, guys.